Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Christy from My Artful Adventures, and if you're not seeing a little red sign, let me know that you are watching by replay. Just type in hashtag replay. And today I am streaming on both Facebook and YouTube. So if you see me answering any question or hear me answering any questions that you don't see, that would be why. So today I am starting a new schedule so that I will be live on Mondays and Wednesdays at 12 Central, so 12 Eastern, so 11 o'clock Central Time. And I'm going to see how that works out, but a more regular schedule. And then I will have other things that will be, I'll have other lives that I'll be doing as well. But for sure I want to be live on Mondays and Wednesdays at that time. So today I'm going to show you a little bit about how to select some matting and layering pieces, especially for cards, but this will work for some other types of projects that you might have as well. I'm just going to take 1 second and pop this into another place and make sure that I can see comments on Facebook. I see where they will be coming in from YouTube, so just bear with me 1 minute, and if you'd let me know that you're here, that'd be great. I would love to know who is here with me today. And let me see here. Okay, you've got it there. Okay, so I'm gonna move you down to my workspace, and we're gonna work on completing something that I showed a technique for. I don't know. It's been a while, so I'll link that back into this description. So let me move down here to the desktop. So there we go. This was a little card that I had shown how to use stamping to create a little scene. Use stamps and markers, and these particular ones are from Art Impressions. They make the most adorable little stamps, and you can pick up little pieces and use them however you want. You can make your own little scenes, and so there are a lot of them that are just basic little pieces that you use for that. And so today I wanted to make a card base for that, and I thought it would be the perfect time to show you how to go about selecting some pieces for doing matting and layering. I'll just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so this little piece, I really messed it up over here on this side. It went off. It was more a little rectangle piece, and I totally messed it up over here. And so I decided, well, I'm just going to cut it so that it can be a square for a card, because there are 6 by 6 inch cards. So I thought that's what I'm going to do for this one. And so then I got to looking, and I thought, okay, here is a blank card base. And be sure, if you do have purchased card bases, be sure that you look and see how they're folded, because you can see this one sticks out a little bit, and I don't want that to be the front of my card. So I'm going to flip that over like this, and then that little difference is going to be on the back side of my card, and I'm not going to mind so much if that's where that is on the back. So you can see that, it is such a stark contrast. So I decided I would see what it would look like with a cream colored background, because this was on watercolor paper, and the watercolor paper is not, you can see what a difference there is. It's not white. So I decided I would try it with this. And one of the easiest ways to do is just stick out a little bit around the corner. Well, that is really, too yellow. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to go with that. So what I decided to do is I decided to just, for that back layer, I'm just going to go ahead and cut a piece of my watercolor paper. And it's kind of heavy. It's heavier than I would normally use for a piece like that, but I want it to cover that whole 6 by 6 inch card for the base. So let's just cut that down. We'll just cut it all the way down here like this at 6 inches, and then we'll just flip it and do another 6 inches, and there we've got our card base. So that'll be all covered up. So as long as we've got that out, we might as well go ahead and stick it down here. And this watercolor paper is much more smooth on one side than the other, although this is kind of messed up here. But I don't mind the texture, so I think I'll leave the texture to show on that side. And I'm just going to put a little bit of wet glue. I like to use wet glue because it just gives you a moment. I call it wiggle room, so that you can wiggle it into place if you don't get it on there exactly how you want it the first time, right? Hi, Christy. Got another Christy, and Susan's here. Hi, you guys. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that down and cover up the base. So there we've got the base of our card here. Okay, and just give it a good rub and make sure it's down. Okay, so then I did find this green color, and I thought that would be so pretty to put down for a layer. And then we can put our card. But I thought it still looks so plain, right? So I messed around a little bit and I decided I would try to pull out something else. And then I thought, well, how would this look? So again, all you have to do is just put it at the corner. Just put it at the corner, layer it up, and see how you like it like that. So there we've got it. And I thought, you know, I think that is pretty, and I don't want a whole lot of it showing. I just want it to be something for a little bit of added interest, right? And that's what we're looking for sometimes with our card making or any of our projects. We want just a little bit. Oh, okay. I see your name now. You're right. I'm so used to looking at that because mine is a TIE on the end, and I just looked at. I saw that and I thought it was a Christy. I'm sorry. I apologize. Now I know. So what we're going to do is we're going to just cut this just a little bit. I only want it 1/4 of an inch bigger than my little card here, or my, you know, the little piece that I've done. So this is 4.5 inches. So we're just going to make it at 4 3/4, and we'll have just a little bit sticking out. That's going to give us 1/8 of an inch around the card. So 4 3/4, we're going to cut a little square that size. Oh, thanks for sprinkling. I appreciate that. Yes, doesn't that dark green really set that off? I agree. Yes, very similar names, right? Okay, and so another 4 3/4 on this side. Okay, now here's another little trick. Usually some of these specialty cardstocks are a little bit more expensive, and you might not want to go ahead and, I mean, you might want to save any of it that you can, right? Because you can use the smallest piece in some way, especially if you are a card maker, right? So I'm just gonna like take out the center of this card. So I'm just gonna bump it up here, and I'm gonna leave about 3/4 of an inch around. So I'm just gonna bump this down, and at about 3/4 of an inch here, I'm gonna just slice it down. Hang on to it though. And then I'm gonna turn it. And I mean, if I really wanted to, I could even cut less than that. But by doing this, you're going to have a little bit left over that you could use for another project. So I just think this is a really, and I tell you, I learned to do this a long, long time ago. So we'll just cut at 4 inches. We'll just put it at 4 and then cut down there. And I tell you all the time, this is one of the reasons that I like having these trimmers that have the little pointed blade on them, because then you can do this. If you have a rotary trimmer, you're not going to be able to do this. Now I've got to, I didn't cut exact, so I need to come in here and snip this. But that's okay. All of this is going to be covered up, right? That will be covered up and we'll be good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead, and before I do this, I'm going to layer it like this. Instead of putting this on here, I'm going to layer the card on first. But I think I still want a little bit more interest on the card. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just rough it up a little bit. We're just going to rough it up. Hi, Eileen. How are you? Welcome. So I'm just going to, you know, they actually make tools that you can do this for. I think paper crafting has a tool for everything. But we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way and just kind of grunge it up a little bit. Like that. Just kind of get some of that loose paper off there. And I really debated about doing this because I thought, well, you know, there's nothing really rough looking about the scene we've designed. But I thought, you know, rough edges are just calling to me for this. Oh my, Susan, that's wonderful. Susan is building her following, and that's great. And you guys, anytime if you see people who have come on as their page, go check them out. You might just find a new favorite crafter. I don't mind that at all. Now, I will tell you, I have 3 featured posts on my Facebook page. One is, well, now I can't remember. One is like this, well, it's not the schedule, is it? Well, now I can't see it. But one is the Telegram channel. So if you're interested in knowing when I go live, be sure and check that out. And then one is my calendar of events. Oh, I know. The other one is the Linktree. I just finally got that kind of revamped. I knew it was something, so I left that there. But I think we'll see how this time slot goes at noon Eastern. We'll give this a whirl for a while, for Mondays and Wednesdays. But this way, I think it'll be nice because, you know, it's a plan. It's a plan, and everybody will know the plan, right? Okay, so we kind of wrap that up, and now we're just going to kind of glue this on. And it's, you can see it's not a lot. It's just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. And you can see where I was working on this. And you know what? Paper has 2 sides, so if you mess up one side, use the other side. You don't necessarily have to go and use another piece of your paper. That goes for stamping and so many things. Give it a whirl on the back side. Okay. Oh, thanks, Kirsty. I love those paintings are fun. I mostly do paper crafting, which can be anything from card making and scrapbooking, journals, some mixed media, any kind of things, you know, some paper construction of something, anything that is paper related, I'm down for it. And then I like to do some fun painting as well. So my artful adventures are, you know, a variety of things. But I like to tell you, when you say my artful adventures, you are talking about yourself. Everybody has their own artful adventures. I don't know why I just put that in the middle. I don't want to lay that on my board yet. And then just kind of slide it into place. Get that even. I'm going to flip it over here. Give it a good press. And then we'll just go ahead and add our glue onto this layer. So, you know, it's just all about giving it some interest. And whether you're trying out some pattern papers or just solid color papers, if you use that little trick about just looking at it at the corners, it really will help you. It'll help you figure out what you want to do, what you want to use. So now we'll put on this layer. And I just cut this, and it's so funny because I said this the other day when I made those silhouette skeletons behind me. I had done that on Cricut. I don't use my Cricut very often, but always when I have a reason to use it, I'm always glad that I've got it. Okay, let me get that. I got some little, can't get that off of there. Let me turn it back over and give it another press. But look, it'll just be quick and easy. Hey, Mary. This glue is called Reptile Glue. Let me grab the bottle so you can see it. This is actually the glue I use. It's called Reptile Glue. And it works great. I really love it. And then I put it in these tiny bottles that I just got off of Amazon. And I love those little needle nose bottles. You would be surprised how long this little bit of glue will last. Okay, so now then we're ready to put it on the card and on our card base. And make sure that you have got your card laying the direction that you want. Make sure it's opening the right way. Says someone with experience who has not remembered to do that. And if you're quick, if you've used liquid glue and you're kind of quick, you might have a chance to lift it off real quick. So there are reasons, but I tell you what, this glue grabs hold pretty fast. So you don't have a lot of time to lift it up if you make a boo-boo, but you might have just that moment that you need. And then we're just going to put this on here. And I made this in the Take 5 group when I was showing that. And I'm going to be in Take 5 on Fridays. I don't have a regular time like I'm going to have here on Mondays and Wednesdays. But I'll have a schedule each week and you can check that out. So there we go. And I'm just going to flip it over again to give it a good press. And that's it. Look at that. What do you think of that? See, don't you think just that tiny bit of gold really gave it a lot more interest? It really kind of makes it look like it's in a picture frame, I think. I love it. I think it turned out great. And I've really debated about putting something on for, like, some kind of a sentiment. And I just decided no. There's all inside the card. You can put whatever you want to. I mean, you might put a sentiment inside the card, right? But that is just what we're going to do. So Susan said she's making a recipe journal. That's great. And so I think Wednesday, I'm going to jump back on Wednesday and do a little bit more on what I started last week in the Take 5 group on Friday. And I'm calling it page by page journaling. And I think it's fun because it's, we're not relegated to any specific size, any specific, style, and you can use whatever binding that you want. And I thought I had laid those here. I don't see them. I was going to show you. I did get the holes punched in mine. Actually, I think there's a picture on my Facebook page with the holes punched so that you could see it. But you know what, you guys? Since I'm not in any kind of an event or anything today, and this is going to be pretty standard on Mondays and Wednesdays, then, we don't have to be here for any set amount of time. And I would prefer to have kind of some shorter segments with you. So we'll just do something kind of quick and easy. There's all kinds of techniques that we can talk about or little projects that we can do. I'm always showing some kind of a technique, and then I don't have enough time to completely finish it. So this will be perfect. We can do little things like this, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you'll come back, and I hope you'll mark that on your calendar. And let me know, too. Let me know what you think about that time. Obviously it worked for you today, and I so appreciate you being here with me today. You guys, that's going to be it for today, and I will, let me switch back here. And so I will see you again next time on Wednesday at what time? Noon Eastern and 11 o'clock Central. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you back. And check the schedule. I've got a schedule on my Facebook page. You guys take care. Bye-bye.